Hello students, today we are going to learn a new chapter, fractions. So today we are learning about the fractions topic and what is the use of fraction in our daily life, and we will learn more about fractions. So basically first we should know that what is fraction. When an object is divided into a number of equal parts, then each part is called a fractions. As we know that every day we are dealing with the fractions, as we are dividing the things. When you will share or divide or distribute something, it comes in a parts, equal parts, then each part represents a fraction, then the fraction concept used there, right? So if we will see the use of fraction in our daily life, so when we are cooking something, so when you are following any recipe, so when you are putting ingredients, so they you are putting in some proportions, that proportion it's called fractions. So when you are going for a shopping, when you are cooking something, when you are sharing something, a pizza party, when you are dividing into equal parts, that concept of fraction used there. We can also use the fraction concept in time also by seeing the time in a quarters, half, or so we can use the fraction over there. So there are so many uses of fractions we will learn in this chapter. When an object is divided, when you will share something, a whole part, whole thing, when you are sharing in a parts, equal parts, then each part is called fractions. So let's do let's understand the fraction concept on a paper. Suppose that if you have a whole paper, this is your whole paper, and if you will fold from the middle, then you will get the foldings like this. When you will fold into two parts, then you will get the folded paper like this. Then when you will open it, your folding this whole page will divide into two equal parts. And what these two parts are called, these are halves. So it means that the whole thing we have divided into two equal parts, and each part is representing one half. Each part is representing one half. It means the whole has been divided into two equal halves. So in this way we can learn fractions on by folding paper also. So have a look to understand what is whole and the halves and its parts also. So here we have a full pizza. It means the whole pizza is with me, and whole it is representing one. Whole is representing one. It means that you have a complete one whole pizza. So if I'm saying that you have to divide this pizza into two halves, so you will cut from here. So we will cut from the middle. So it will divide into two halves, right? So basically if we will see that it is divided into two equal halves, so what does it mean? That each part is representing 1 by 2, two equal parts. It means that the whole pizza has been divided into two equal parts, right? If I am cutting the pizza, it means that half part has gone and half part is left with me. So this is called one half. So this is called one half. It means that half part I have eaten and half is with me now. So we can say that the half part is left. It is called one half. Each part is representing half. So if it has been taken away or eaten by someone, so it is also representing one half. So when you are dividing this whole pizza into a three equal parts, you can see that the parts should be equal in size. So when you are dividing this whole pizza into three equal parts, when you have eaten the one part of it and you are left with the two parts, so what does it means? That it is 2/3. It means that you are having two parts of it out of three equal parts. You are having two equal slices of pizza out of three equal parts. In the same way, if I will come to this picture, this figure is showing me that here we have a one slice of pizza. So how many total parts are there? 1, 2 and 3. Out of three equal parts, I have a one pizza slice. So if I will represent the fraction for it, so I will write 1 by 3. 1 by 3, because each part is representing 1/3. So each part is called 1/3, right? When you have all the three slices on your plate, then it means that this is 3/3 and it is equals to whole pizza. It is equals to whole pizza. So 3/3 will give me a whole pizza, right? So we can say that 3/3. So this will give you a whole. So here we have a fraction. So now we will learn how to represent a fraction. So firstly, you have to learn the number which we'll write at the top is called numerator. The number which we always write at the top is called numerator. And or you can learn like this, the number in the north is the numerator. It is the number at the top or in the north is called numerator. When after it, you have to represent the fraction with the fraction bar, and it is compulsory to write the middle line to represent the fraction. And bottom number will be representing denominator. So how you will learn it? So D stand for down and D stand for denominator. The number at the bottom or the down is called denominator. So we can see, we can learn like this. 2 is in the north and 4 is the down. So it is representing by a fraction bar 2/4, right? So this is the way of representing the fraction. 2 is the numerator and 4 is the denominator, and you have to put a middle line in the between numerator and denominator is called fraction bar. So how we will read the fraction? 2/4, or we can say that 2/4. This is a way to read the fractions. Next is, so we have learned what is numerator and denominator. If I'm talking about this figure, so it is representing 1/2. So for the fraction for it is 1/2. And the top number is called numerator and the bottom number is called denominator. But the question is arising that why the 2 in the denominator and 1 in the numerator? Because there are 2 equal parts. So this whole figure, this one whole figure is divided into 2 equal parts. This is the first part, this is the second part. And here we have a total number of equal parts. So the total parts always come in the denominator. It is always come down the fraction bar. So denominator is saying that you have to write the total equal parts in the denominator, and the numbers which you have taken or which you are describing or you have eaten or you have shaded, that you have to write at the top as a numerator, right? So if you have to shade, if you have shaded this dark blue color, you have to write the fraction for it. You have to write one part is shaded out of 2 equal parts. So the shaded part you have to write at the top always, and the total parts you have to write at the bottom as a denominator. That's why this figure is representing 1/2. Now we will learn parts of a whole. That whole is not same as that hole in the ground, and it is different than that where the rat lives. That is not a that hole. That hole is a comes in the numbers, right? So whole is, we have a one complete whole, that is 1, and whole we will represent it by 1. So here we have a whole pizza slice, whole pizza. Now if I'll cut this whole pizza into a 6 slices, so what I have to write for this fraction? I have to represent the pizza slices into in a fractions. So each pizza, there are how many slices are there? 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 pizza slices are there, and I have a 6 pizza slices on the plate. Nobody has taken, nobody has eaten the any pizza slice. So I have a whole pizza and I've divided into 6 equal parts. So what is the fraction for it? So firstly you have to write its total number of parts, 6. Now currently I am having a 6 pizza slices on my plate. So the fraction for it is 6/6. It means that still I am having a whole pizza. Nobody has eaten. We have just divided the same whole pizza into slices. But if you will calculate, it will be a whole. This will give you a whole, right? 6 ones are 6 ones are. So this is giving you a whole pizza. So this was all about whole. So how you will write one whole as a fractions? We can write whole as a fraction also, and the top number and the bottom number are same. You can see that when you will write the whole, so what you will see when you will write whole as a fraction, so you will see that whole will represent as the top number and the bottom number will remain same. When the top number and the bottom remain will same, it means that it is representing whole, right? Because both the numerator and denominator going with the number same number, that is it both comes in that fives table. So we can say that 5 ones are 5 ones are, and 1 upon 1 is 1 only. So it is giving me every time, if I'm cutting the numbers, every time I'm getting a whole. So in this way we can represent the whole as a fraction, right? When the top number means the numerator and the denominators are same, it giving me whole. So let's learn about the part of a whole. So how much pizza is there with me now? So I have to write the fraction for it. As you can see that firstly we will count the total number of parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I have a total 6 slices of pizza. Okay. Then in a plate, we can put 6 slices of pizza. So the total number of parts are 6. That you have to write as a denominator because the total comes in the denominator. So how many pizzas are there with me? So we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have a 5 pizza slices is with me. So what is the fraction for it? Having a pizza there on the plate. It is 5 by 6. 5 pizza is with me out of 6 equal parts. Now these you can see that the 3 slices, this whole pizza, it has been cut into a 3 different slices. So this is the first part which has somebody has taken away, and this is second part, this is third part, right? So here we have a 3 pizza slices, and out of it 1 slice has been taken away and 2 is with me. So you have to tell the how many pizza slices is with you now. So here we have a 2 pizza slices. What is the fraction of it? Firstly, there are total 3 slices. So I have to write at the denominator 3. So how many pizzas are there with me? 2. 1, 2. So I have to write at the top, right? So let's come to this part. So here we have a total number of triangles. You can see that total numbers of the circle has been divided into further equal parts. So firstly, we will count its parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, there are 6 equal parts, that is why 6 is in the denominator. And how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. So out of these 6 equal parts, 4 parts has been shaded, so the fraction will become 4 by 6. 4 as a shaded fraction and 6 will be its total number of parts. So in the same way, we'll see the this rectangular figure, this rectangle has been divided into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So how, there are total 4 equal parts. That's why we will write 4 below the fraction bar. Then we will write the shaded part. How many shaded parts are there? 1. So we'll write 1 for it, right? So let's see one more example. So here we have a parts of a whole. So this we have a shape, three shapes are there, circular shapes, and it has been divided into equal parts. So if we will see the first figure, it has been divided into 4 equal parts. That is means it's divided into quarters. Quarters means 4 parts. And here we have a 4 equal parts. So what is the fraction for it? So here firstly we will write a fraction bar. Then firstly I will write the denominator, that is the 4 equal parts, and 1 part is shaded out of 4 equal parts. So I have to write 1 in the numerator. Now I have to write the fraction for it. It has been divided into 2 equal parts, 1 and 2. 2 parts are there. Out of there are total equal 2 equal parts. Out of 2 parts, 1 part is shaded. Then I have to write the fraction. So shaded part, for the shaded part only the 1 part is shaded. So we'll write 1 upon 2. And when we'll come about this fraction, so here we have again total 4 equal parts. So 4 equal parts, we have to write 4 below the fraction bar. Then we have to write the shaded equal parts. Only there are only 3 shaded parts, 1, 2, 3. So we'll write the fraction 3 upon 4. It means that 3 parts are shaded out of 4 equal parts. This was all about the fractions, right?